It started with the sharp, unmistakable click of a gun. 5 seconds. That's all it took for a peaceful afternoon to spiral into something out of a nightmare. Emily, my wife, stood at the edge of our driveway, calm as always, explaining why she had parked where she did. Nothing unusual, nothing dramatic, until Karen, our neighborhood's ongoing problem in human form, pulled a loaded handgun and aimed it straight at her chest. I wasn't even supposed to be home. As a Delta Force operator, deployments are long, secretive, and often unpredictable, but I had gotten the green light to return home early from a mission, and I didn't tell Emily. I wanted to surprise her, but the surprise was mine. We live in one of those postcard-perfect neighborhoods, trimmed hedges, big trees, quiet streets. But beneath that clean surface, there's always someone stirring up chaos. For us, that someone was Karen. She wasn't elected to the HOA board. She just decided she ran the place. Rulers for measuring grass, complaints about Christmas decorations, aggressive notes on doorsteps. She lived to remind everyone of her imagined authority. Most ignored her, but not today. Today, she crossed a line no one could walk back from. Let me rewind. I'm Jake. I've spent over a decade in Delta Force, hostage rescues, black ops, the kind of things you don't read about in newspapers. I'm trained for pressure, but nothing prepares you to see the love of your life staring down the barrel of a loaded gun. Emily is the opposite of chaos, composed, compassionate, and unshakable. Even Karen couldn't rattle her. That day, she'd parked our older Ford Explorer at the curb, not blocking anything, not in violation of any rule, just parked. But Karen came in like a storm. You can't park here. It's against the rules. I'm reporting you, she screamed, red in the face. Emily, always calm, said, Karen, I've read the bylaws. Parking on our own curb isn't against the rules, and you're not even part of the board anymore. That must be stung. Karen's face twisted with rage, and then, she reached into her purse and pulled out a full-sized Glock. Emily took a step back, hands up. Karen, put the gun down, she said softly. That was the moment my training kicked in. I had 5 seconds to assess, decide, act. Do I call for backup, draw my concealed weapon, or move in bare-handed? I chose speed. Drop the weapon, I shouted, my voice cutting through the panic like a blade. Karen turned, startled. Jake, Emily screamed. She saw me, 6 feet 2 inches of boots, camo, and controlled fury coming straight at her. She hesitated. That was all I needed. 2 more strides and I had her wrist, twisted it until the gun fell from her hand with a cold clatter on the pavement. She screamed, he's hurting me. Assault. I didn't let go. Not until I had her face down, knee on her back, and the weapon kicked well out of reach. Emily stood frozen, her hands still trembling. Neighbors came pouring out, phones recording, some calling 911. The police arrived quickly, sirens wailing, weapons drawn. But once they saw Mayad, the weapon on the ground, and a dozen witnesses, the chaos began to settle. Karen was handcuffed, still shrieking about parking spots and conspiracies. She parked wrong. She provoked me, she howled. One deputy looked me in the eyes. Delta, he asked. I nodded. He sighed. Hell of a day for a surprise visit. Later that evening, we sat together on the porch. Emily had a blanket around her, her head on my shoulder, quiet at last. I thought I was going to die, she whispered. I pulled her closer. You're safe now, I said. I've got you. Karen was charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. The HOA banned her from attending any future meetings. And the neighbors, the same ones who'd always stayed quiet, finally found their voices. Flowers appeared on our doorstep. Baked goods. Apologies. Turns out, Karen had threatened others before, just never with a gun. She took a plea deal, probation, psychological evaluation, and eventually, she put her house up for sale. No one rushed to buy it. Maybe they heard the guy next door was Delta Force. Maybe they just didn't want to deal with the ghost of her reputation. We still live here. We still walk past that curb where everything changed. And every time I do, I remember those 5 seconds. 5 seconds that reminded me how fast life can turn, how close danger can get, and how far I'm willing to go to protect the one I love.